All right, thank you guys. This is Frank Salinas here. We are going to just do a quick update about GrooveKart. This was not planned. We do have training later today, but right now I just want to show you the updates made to GrooveKart and some bugs and fixes that we had as well. So I'm going to share my screen and just go over with you some of the things that we've been doing with GrooveKart and just go over that with you. So I'm going to go here and we're going to go over the Visual Builder update. And I'm just going to read off the list that I have here, and then we'll also go over some bug fixes and things that were changed like that. So let me just double check that I have everything going. Matter of fact, let me stop sharing screen. I'm going to open up my phone just so I can make sure that I see everything that you see. And then we're going to get rock and rolling with this quick little update about GrooveKart. So the main update we have today is we've had a large, humongous, awesome update to the builder. And the builder took on many improvements. I have a long list of over 20 different things that we did do. And so I just want to go over those with you. And I'm just setting up my phone here, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. And I'm not the pro StreamYard guy like David Lemon is yet, but all right, so let's get rocking and rolling. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to go over the updates that we have in the builder. Now, I did mention this in one of our past trainings a couple weeks ago, but I just want to reiterate and go over everything for anyone that missed the update. So everything I'm going to cover right now is the Visual Builder update. Okay, so related to appearance, we now have the header, footer, and the float cart, which are now part of the theme and that can be imported and exported. So I'm going to go into this demo store and I'm going to open up the builder. So if you haven't opened up the builder yet, go to your store and click on builder. And this is our this newest demo that I have here. I haven't done anything. And so the header is here and the footer is obviously at the bottom. And then the float cart is here as well. All of this is included in your theme. So if you make a beautiful theme, or if someone makes one for you and they export it, and when you import it, all of that will come together together. Before it was just the headers would be separate, and now they're included with the theme. So if you set up a header to look a specific way, then it will export and import. Okay, now let's go back to this list. Headers have a way to edit the background color, the links, and the text color. You can hide or show the search bar and the account login link, and you can also change the cart icon. So let me show you what that means. So if I'm going to edit this header, I can actually change the background color. Let's just say I make this header the background color black, and then I want the text to be white. Now you can change it on the fly. Okay, and then you can also show or turn off the search and the login. Now, this is a fresh demo, so I'm not sure. Let me change this back. It's because of this look. It probably doesn't show up. Let me make this link. Let me make it blue. Okay, and if I turn these back on and on, excuse me, back on and off. Let's see. It might just be because there it is. Okay, let's just use this one as the example. So as you can see here, if I show the search, or if I turn it off, it can be removed or turned back on. The login screen, for the account can be shown. And then the cart icon. You see this little shopping cart icon right here? If you upload a PNG and make it the size of an icon, you can actually type in free icons. And if you wanted to change that icon, you could. Okay, so and then you can upload it right here. Now, these, I just want to jump and mention that we are adding back some headers that were removed. And after many requests, we're adding those back. But they all are going to have the improved functionality of letting you change the header background color, the link color, turn it off and on, the search, etc. So we are having some of the old headers come back, and they're all going to be new and improved. So you're going to have more options here. Okay. So let me go back to the list. Okay. Better theme management in the menu, where you can find your current theme and theme templates, as well as upload new themes. So this is, let me just show you. This is the new menu right here. we have here at the top where you can add blocks or elements. Now, remember the hierarchy for when you're working on a page is you have your pages, which are broken down by blocks, which contain elements like text or image, video, and each element has its own settings. Okay, so I'm going to go dive deeper into all of this here in a second. So going back here, better theme management. So here you can add blocks or elements, and then here are your pages. And every store comes with a home page, category, product, shopping cart, checkout, upsell, thank you, and maintenance. Then here's your edit where you can edit your navigation. And then here is your theme management. So this is a cool thing. So remember this, with this new update, the current theme that you have loaded and that you're working on will always be here at the top. If I import new themes, they're going to show under this one, but the one on the top left will be the one that I'm currently working on. And this is where I can customize settings globally and things like that. I'm going to show you in just a second. As far as organization, here you can import a new theme. Okay, so you can click on that and import it. All right, if I had a theme. This is good for if you are a designer and you want to create themes to sell. This is how your new customers that bought your theme would import the theme you sold them. Okay, or let's say you make a master theme that you want to use on many different stores of yours or for clients. Here's where you would import it. And then basic. This is when you load your store, you will have this Groove Decor Lite, Groove Elegant, Groove Fresh, Groove Shred, and then the old default. These are in here like so. Let's show you real quick. If I wanted to use Groove Shred, I would click on Use as Current. And then I haven't done any really thing to this site, so I'm just going to ignore saving the theme. You could also save it as a different name. And I'm going to show you a little bit more on that in just a second. But this is now going to load Groove Shred. And we're going to see that in just a second. Okay, so there's my theme that I just loaded. So, and it is currently being shown here. So if you have an existing store, here's a tip that I recommend. If you had an existing store, it got loaded with the new builder. And if it's live, I recommend you saving the current store that you have before loading any other theme and save that as a theme. So this is a tip that I recommend. So this to say my current store, you could let's just say you had a store, you started having some sales, or you got it to look the way you wanted. The first thing you do when you come into the builder is label it and save it my current store, save as theme, and now that'll be here so that if you start playing around here in the settings up here, and if you make a mistake and you want to revert back to it, you can just go to your file. This is my current store and use as current, and it'll load it and then load it up there at the top. So going back, you can include a thumbnail preview. So this is if I wanted to import a new theme, then I can I can load a thumbnail with it. And then you can export, right? You can click on export and it'll export that JSON file. You can also delete. So the section here, it says you can include a thumbnail. That is for if you're wanting to sell a theme, then you can include a preview of that theme with it. Okay, so let's just go here and let me just double check my confidence little monitor here that I got going on. Okay. All right, so now going back, we now have the global appearance settings where you can set up the colors, font sizes, and styles for all elements on the page. So let me show you. I'm going to load this other theme that I had, Groove Decor Lite. Let's just load that one. I'm going to ignore saving the Groove Shred. And I just want to show you on a new theme where these settings are. And I'm just playing around with the theme management here so you can see how I use it and navigate through here. So here we are. We have this this theme, right? And if you want to, if you'd like, and we recommend, you can edit the global settings. So here, remember the current theme that you're working on is always at the top. So I can customize and click here, and these are my global settings. I'd like to add here that we now have many, many more fonts than we had before. Okay, you have a ton of different fonts. Damian Bradshaw, one of our great designers, recommends no more than 2 fonts, and this makes perfect sense. and this is actually for you. You could select the heading font to be one way, and then the body font to be something else. I like to use like Helvetica and things like that, easy to read fonts. So I like Montserrat, Helvetica, etc. But here in this global settings section, how do you find it? Again, it's the top section. You click on customize, and then here are your global settings. So let's just assume I want my headings to always be 48. Okay. And I want my subheadings to be 36. And then the title's 26, subtitle 18, body 16, label size 14. Let's change the body to be, let's actually keep that. Let's make the labels 12. Okay. And so now I'm going to show you what this looks like in a second. We're going to drag in some new elements so you can see this take effect. And then let's just say the heading is, let's just say a bright pink. And let's make the body this cool gray. All right. And then the labels, let's just edit them and make them, I don't know, let's make them hot pink. So I'm going to go here and choose this hot pink color. And now my labels are hot pink. And that way, I'm going to navigate here in a second just so you can see where these settings, where do they pertain on the store pages that you're working on. Links. Let's make the links this bright blue. And then the buttons, let's make the buttons this gold color. Okay. And then the button text, let's keep it black. And then for the price, this is very important. I have it on the list here where you could change the color of the prices. So if I go down here and we see these sample demo products, I can change these price colors now. Before you couldn't. So let's just say I wanted to make it a dark green. Now that's made it dark green. That's too dark. Let's make it more of a green like this. That looks better. And this old price color, let's change it to I don't know, this navy blue. Okay. And then so now those are my new settings for the prices. This was requested by a lot of people. So if I check off this and save that, those appearance settings have been updated. And now these are global. So any new elements that you add to your store are going to take on these settings. Okay. So now let's add a simple example here. I'm going to add a new row. Let's just do a column here. And then I'm going to add some text. I'm going to add H1. Okay. And then I'm going to add some more. So let's just add some more text. H2 over here. All right. And then let's do H3 over there. And as you can see, those have different looks, right? Because we customized the way they looked under the global settings. So this is a very key portion here. Once you set these up, you're going to save hours and hours of time because now everything will be controlled here so that you can make everything uniform across no matter what page you're working on, whether it's the home page, the product page, category page. So let's just say I don't want the heading font to be this pink. I want it to be, I don't know, let's just do this orange looking color. Okay, and so now that changed it. So you know what? I don't want that color either. Let's make the heading I don't know, this purple. And so now all headings have this purple color, okay? And let's just say I'm not happy with H148. I like it to be bigger. I want it 54. So now I change that, and then I save the appearance settings. And now globally, when I add an H1 anywhere, it's going to be this setting. So if I copy this, and like that, boom, it's copying the global settings so that you save hours and hours of time. Now, with that being said, I do also want to mention that each element can have different style settings if you go to the element level. Okay, I'm reading this and then I'm going to show you. The builder will show you a warning and will offer a quick way to reset. So what does that mean? So if I'm editing this, if I want to, let's just say, awesome collection. Let's just say I'm editing this, right? And of course you wouldn't just let it say your custom title. And if I want to make this word a different color, I can override my global settings and make this a different color if I need to. Let's say I want to make it green. Now I can override the global settings and edit this at the local level, the inline setting level, if I wanted to. And then you could click on this and you'll see here, this is using the theme settings, but it is showing me here that I've overridden that with the WYSIWYG editor. So you can always set up everything globally, but then you can overwrite each element if you need to locally, or inline, I should say, is another way the developers say it. And you can overwrite things. Okay, so if I wanted to do something like this, it's not editing the global settings, but it's editing that one part of the element that I want to edit. And then let's say you wanted to undo that. You can click this and it'll undo every style that you have, every styling option, okay? And go back to the theme settings, all right? So that's a cool, awesome feature. So remember, anything that you do in global settings will be controlled here, but you can edit every element individually and granularly right here with this little WYSIWYG editor. And then if you want to undo it, let's just say I did it like this and I made it like that. If you want to undo it, right, say, no, I don't like that. You can go like that and it'll revert everything back to the global settings. So let me show you here. If I'm editing this, let me just actually select this. If I'm editing this, it tells me I'm using the theme settings. But if I wanted to go specific and I want to edit this, the size or the link settings, it's going to show me, hey, right here. Actually, no, this is not a good one. Let me click on this setting and let's just go here. Let me see if I can find one. This is pertains to each element, can have different style settings. I showed you that part. It says new default theme adapted. So what that means, let me just go to this list and I'll show you that example once it pops in to my head. Whatever store you had, your store theme that you had on your store was adapted with the new settings. And number 9, every element block theme is adapted to the new appearance settings. So you want to set up those global settings. And this is why I mentioned earlier, you want to, if you had an existing store that you already had the way you wanted, you would go and you would save that like I did here, so that you would have a base to always have in case you started editing these settings that you didn't like or something like that. You could go back and have yours saved. Okay, so now going back, I know we're live, so I'm jumping around here, but I just want to include any little thing that I come across here. If I go back and I'm editing, let's just say this section, you can always click on the 3 dots and you can see the settings here that you're working with. Okay, now this is letting me know, it's giving me a message. This is what I was looking for. It's telling me I'm using the settings from this section, and that lets me know I'm not using the theme settings that I have set globally. So if I go here and I click on these 3 dots, this shows me I'm using the theme settings. Okay, so that's the difference, you see. So if you're editing something locally, it's going to give you that that warning here by clicking on those dots. All right, so let's just go back to the list, and you can see the inline local settings. I went over that. Improved copying of the custom pages. So when you imported a theme, before it would just have it would say duplicate of something like that, the file name, but now it'll say copy of your custom page. And what that means is it's something most people don't have to worry about. But if I made a custom page here and I called it my page, it would say copy of my page if I imported that theme into a different store. Not a big deal for 95% of the users using it. The product list and category list elements have more options for styling. So if I wanted to include something here, if I wanted to include this element, let me go add a new element, and let's just say we're going to add a product list up here to the top. You can now click on here to select a product. You click on these 3 dots, and here I could select those products, right? Let's just do the category. These are all demos, so it's not going to have, we're not going to have a lot of products, but I could set these products up here. Okay, and then I could actually set up the styles for those products. You see how these demos showed up here? I could set up the styles to be the shadows and just do different things here. And again, I'm just You see that? I'm editing those styles. So now we have more flexibility when adding a product list or category list to your stores. And you can go in here, you can change the size. You see what I'm doing here? And we want to change the font. And these are individual settings. They don't take on the global settings, which gives you a lot of flexibility to make your store look super, super unique if you want to. So these are just examples going off of the list. Now, we decreased the amount of devices to 3, but you still have the ability to change the middle devices as well. So let me show you what that means here. So if I go into the builder, you will see that we have these 3 devices. We got mobile, we got tablet vertical, and then we got the desktop. And then we also have these 3 devices. These other 2 devices, which is the tablet horizontal and then the laptop. So for those of you that are super designers, you still have the option, but by default, it only shows you the 3. But if you click these 3 dots, you will see the other 2. All right. So with that being said, let's see. Menu sidebars are now floating. You've seen what we've been doing in this builder. If I click on something and let's say I want to edit this, these menu items float, and then I can click on the 3 dots and the settings open up so that you get more room to work with when you're working in the builder. Okay, let's see. Improve top bar user interface. What's the top bar? You see where it says worldwide shipping? There's a typo there. But now if we click on edit the top bar, it has a better settings options. If you click on the 3 dots, remember, always click on the 3 dots to open up the settings. You now have some more flexibility there, and the user interface has been improved for the top bar. I would recommend using the top bar to announce special offers or coupon codes, something like that. So, and this is a feature, I think it's in the list, but I just wanted to point it out right here. If you want to go back, you can click this little arrow back, and it'll take you to the page that you were working on, okay, before the other canvas. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The back button at the top left, I just mentioned that. We changed the hover effect of the element. So this is very small, but if I'm moving an element around, the hover effects change. It's not something that's going to affect you at all. It's just improving the way things work. So don't worry about that too much. Quick sidebar. We moved the less frequently used style settings to advanced at the bottom. So if I'm editing this and I hit the 3 dots again and I go to style, the advanced styling stuff that wasn't used as much as all the other settings, we moved it to the bottom and put it under advanced. You haven't lost any settings. They're just here more compact so that we can flow, get in here, set up our global settings first, and then upload images, things like that, and get up and running faster. You can always reset to theme settings. But remember, if your store looked one way and you go in and you set up global settings to be slightly different, when you hit reset, it's going to change everything to be your new global settings. So keep that in mind. And you're always going to see, what are you working with? Are you working with the local inline settings from here? If so, it's going to be purple. If it's the theme settings, it'll show in pink. Okay. And let's see. The footer area, we removed the loading effect. When you clicked on the footer to edit it, it used to pulsate and move around, and people thought that something was going to. It wasn't. They removed that option so it wouldn't confuse people. We have improved headers. I think I mentioned this earlier. We're actually going to have more coming soon. It's going to grow. We're putting back some of the old headers that people were really fond of, but they'll all have this functionality of being able to change the cart icon, change the header background color, change the link color, show the search, things like that. That's coming with the new headers. We're putting back some of the originals and improving all of them, especially for mobile. Autosave, really quick. We're going to wrap this up. If you leave your builder after 3 minutes, it'll autosave. So if you got to get up, answer the door, or whatever, it's going to autosave. Now we increased the limitations of margins and padding to 300. Let me just show you real quick. If I add in a new element, actually, let's just do it here. If I'm editing this, right, and I go to style and I go to advanced settings, I should be able to do a bigger padding and do this up to 300. So if I can go like this, let's just see if I can bring it in. So you see that extra padding, you can go all the way up to 300. This gives you that are super designers more flexibility and it gives you a lot more power. And you can also go 300 negative as well. Okay, so most people like me aren't going to use it that much. Before we went up to 64, but now you can go up to 300 pixels. So for you super designers, you're going to be very excited about that. When you save the block, let's say I like this block here. You could save it as a favorite, and now you're going to save it and create a new category. And I'm just going to say sample, and then I'm just going to say demo, right? And then it's going to be text only. There's no screenshot. All right. So we just took that out because it was really just cluttering things up, and the screenshots were not the greatest. I mentioned the amount of fonts has gone up, and then there was a time when you're dragging the element and it would disappear. That has been fixed, so you're always going to see the elements when you're moving them up and down. So that's awesome. Let's see. Okay. We got the fonts disappearing element that's gone. You can clone product page layouts. I'm just going to show you real quick with product pages. If we're going to pages, right? Let's just go in here. Let me refresh. Let me just refresh this builder real quick. So if we go into pages, and we now have the product page layout, and you have it the way you want, but you want to make a slight change for other products. Let's say hoodies, you want one layout. T-shirts, you want a different layout, and you just want to make slight tweaks. Well, then you can just go into your product page layout and clone it, and it'll make an exact copy, and then you can make those changes so that you can have more than one product page layout and use different layouts for different products or different campaigns. So that's really, really cool. Okay, images will be cropped to the column without losing quality. Real quick about images. When you work on pages, now every image that you upload, doesn't matter if it's a home page, product page, anywhere, they're going to be auto optimized. Okay, so and they're going to be converted to WebP. And if it's 1500 pixels wide or 3000 pixels wide, it's going to auto optimize it, convert it to WebP. And as you can see here, it says they'll be cropped to the column width. So even though it's, let's say, a 1900 by 1920 wide pixel, it's going to be cropped to the column width that you see there. All right. And then we added the ability for full widths. Okay. So if I add an element here and I go to add a row, let's just say I add 3 columns, right? I can make these full width, or I can make them blocked off with margins just like that. So that is pretty awesome. And then let's see. Yes, so all images are going to be optimized. And we also removed a list element. I don't even know what that is. The developers let me know. It was a way for you to make lists, and now people are just using links and then cloning those and adding text and then cloning those, making copies. And so it wasn't a feature that we were using too much. Okay, so that's the builder. I did go over this 2 or 3 weeks ago in our live training. I highly recommend you go to our YouTube channel and looking at the update, look at the GrooveKart updates there, and you're going to see where we covered the builder pretty in depth, probably more than this. So I highly encourage you to look maybe the last 3 trainings past to see that. Other bug fixes and updates. We added drop downs to the variant option when you add a product manually. Before, it was just radio buttons. They had taken away the drop down feature, but that's been added back if you set up products manually. And we improved the checkout process for returning customers. Okay, so if I go here, let's just say go to Groove Gear, and I'm a returning customer, it's going to send me a one-time passcode if I've already created an account. And as you can see, it saves this information. So that's been improved. So test this on your store. If you have on your store to create accounts, go test it and you'll see the new feature. It'll send you an email with a one-time passcode, and then you enter the passcode, and then it'll pull in your information. So it'll always have the customer's up-to-date address and things like that. The affiliate module had some fixes made to it. If you were working with the affiliate module, creating your own affiliates for your store, then you had some problems. Then it was related to the table. It wasn't displaying all the affiliates, and there was an issue when you're editing the affiliate. Okay, we have a new Printful API update. I'm going to make a separate video just for that. just know you have about a year before we have to really worry about it, but we have put that in place now. I'm going to do a video just for that separate because I think it needs it. They improved the importing of CSVs for products. They had some fixes put in. So if you're importing products, they did some changes so that the columns line up properly. So that doesn't affect too many people. This does affect a lot of free account holders. If you are a free GrooveKart account holder, they're going to resume the billing. And if you had sales for April or May, you're going to have to pay for those in the next 30 days. And also June. In June, they're going to bill you for April, May, and anything you had in June. 2% of any sales you made. If you had sales, that's only for free users. So it's not that many people because most people are on our upgraded plan. Okay, and then this other item was if you change the status of an order to refund, it's going to ask you if you want to actually refund it as well, because before you could change the status and not actually perform the refund, and now they're together so that you don't mark something as refund and didn't actually refund them. Okay, we also had a fix where if you had no dollar amount in the compare price, it was still showing the compare price at 0. So we did fix that. In the beginning, when the new builder came out, everything was aligned to the left. Now that has been centered, and that's been fixed. And then there was some transactional emails from the dashboard. If you marked a order in progress, the email was not going out, and now that has been fixed. So I encourage you to check out the new checkout process. Go through there, especially if you were had already an account on your store. Go through the process, see how it works. It's actually going to help you get sales better because people don't have to remember a password. It'll send them a one-time passcode that they enter, and then it'll have all their payment information saved. So with that being said, this is Frank Salinas. Let me just stop sharing. I know I went over a lot, but I just wanted to show you the updates to the builder. And just know that we're let's see, like the one in Shopify. Okay, so today is just to give the updates. I will actually answer questions later today at 4 p.m. Eastern. So I just wanted to go over this quick update with the builder. We reviewed all the different settings and updates, improvements we made to the builder. The best way to do is, for me to tell you, is to go into the builder, make a new page with no elements, and then just start adding it. So you adding elements and start tweaking the global settings so you can get a better feel for how things work. With that being said, we'll see you on the next training. This is Frank Salinas. If you have questions, meet me at 4 p.m. Eastern for GrooveKart official training, and we'll see you on that next one. This is Frank Salinas. We'll talk to you soon.